friends. We are in Atlanta, Georgia. It is.
So you're going to hear me say this a lot, but the thrift stores in the South are just huge. Every thrift store I go to in Georgia, in Texas, where's the other place in the South I was? Somewhere, they're just huge, you guys. Your thrift stores are literally the sizes of like our Targets and our Walmart. It's amazing. I love it. I just never find a small thrift store. I'm sure they exist. I don't know. But all the ones I find on Google, you guys, they're just big. So this store was huge. I was only in Atlanta for literally 20, no, sorry, it was like 15 hours. So I only had a carry-on, you guys, but I knew that I was going to source and actually buy some things, but I just had to be super selective. This store was huge, a ton of stuff. A lot of mall brands, and I am not above selling mall brands. You guys know I sell mall brands all the time. It's just a lot of this stuff was like Kohl's and Macy's and a lot of Shein. It's really hard to show you the dress tags because they had them so high. So I try not to film in the dress section. A lot of stores do this, even where I live. They just put them so high. So it's hard to actually pull it down and show you the tags. But huge dress section. Look at this. It's like a furniture store back there. If I lived here, you guys, it's such a treat where I live to find thrift stores this big. We have them, but not as many as you guys do in the South. So whenever I see one this big, I could literally spend hours in here, you guys. I ended up finding a lot of new with tag stuff. This is New York and Company. Pre-pandemic, I would have picked this up. I did pretty good selling that brand, mall brand. They used to have stores when I was younger. I remember my mom buying her work clothes from there. I'm not sure if they have brick and mortar stores anymore, but new with the tags, and that was only $7, you guys. Another thing I love about Atlanta is the thrift pricing. It was great, you guys. I didn't see anything in this store over $20, and to see a $20 price tag was rare. I did a short video on this. This is Oscar de la Renta, which immediately caught my eye because his gowns go for thousands. Thousands. I didn't even know that this brand made like just normal looking sweaters. They make very intricate, beautiful gowns. The sell-through rate on this sweater is like 0. Like none of them have sold in 90 days on eBay, so I passed on that. I just wanted to share that. I find it very interesting that a brand can have one category that has an amazing sell-through rate, like gowns, and then another category that literally doesn't sell at all. So just keep that in mind. That's why I always say look up comps, check sell-through rate. I do have a video coming out soon about sell-through rate, how to do it. I check sell-through rate on eBay, and I keep it very simple. So I will be sharing that video very soon. There's that brand August Silk that I always tell you guys confuses me because I see the name and I'm like, ooh, this is going to be 100% silk, and there is not a piece of silk to be found in the garment. A mess. So anyways, you guys, I looked up this brand LA Made because that tag looked like, ooh, this could be expensive, and I guess it's like a boutique brand made in the USA, but the comps weren't great, and they wanted $624. And then I found a little hole on the bottom. I almost picked it up, even though the comps were like, I did find a comp for that exact sweater for $35, but it didn't have a hole, so I passed on that. London Fog makes me sad, you guys. I don't know what happened. This is another example of brands that just fall off. Like 5 years ago, I could sell this coat for over $100. I did so well selling vintage London Fog jackets. I would find them all the time at the Goodwill outlet where I live. And now I've had one that's been sitting for like 2 years. So I don't know, the sell-through rate has just tanked. I don't know if the market's become flooded. I've even lowered the price significantly, and they don't sell for me anymore. So I currently have like 4 listed. So I might just take those down and either redonate them or send them to ThredUp, because I do okay selling them on ThredUp. Like I'll be lucky to get like 20, 30 bucks, but I did pick them up all at the Goodwill outlet, so at least I don't have that much money into them. I then moved on to the jackets and coats. This is more like a coat. This coat from Ashley's, look at that, $6.24. Where I live, that would at least at least be 10 to 15 bucks. Anywho, I was going to pick that up. I found a sold comp for that jacket slash coat for like 45 bucks, but it was very heavy. And like I said, I only brought a carry-on because I was here. I don't know if I mentioned yet, but I came to Atlanta for my uncle's funeral, so it wasn't a very fun trip. I tried to pep myself up by going thrifting before the memorial. So I was literally here, like I said, for 15 hours. I did not even stay the night. I took the red eye from LA. I landed at like 6 or 7, got breakfast, came to the thrift store, went to the memorial, went thrifting after the memorial, which you'll see. We're going to go to a second location. And then I flew out that same night, you guys. So I had to be very selective with what I picked up. I don't know if I'm going to show you in this video what I actually buy, because I did buy 2 things from this store, and one has already sold. So let me just tell you, I picked up these new with tags Chico's pants. They were size 18, and they were only $6, you guys. They're only $6. And the retail price on them was $75. If my thrift store saw that, they would probably price it at half the retail. They'd be like, okay, $30. It was great. I would definitely come back here, you guys, if I had more time. So this caught my attention because it was made in the USA. Never heard of the brand before, but it has not a good sell-through rate, so I did not pick it up. Anytime anything says made in the USA, I usually will stop and look up comps, even if I think the brand or the garment doesn't look like anything special, just to see, because you never know. You learn new brands every day. Like I said, I wonder if this store gets boutique donations, because they had a ton of boutique clothing that was new with the tags. So I didn't have time. You guys know I try to make friends with the workers, the managers, because, you know, especially at places I frequent, you kind of get insider knowledge that way. I was going to ask, like, do you guys get direct donations for boutique items? But then I thought, Nikki, what is the point? You're not going to be coming back here for a while. Derek Lamb, I decided to pass on that one. It had a very weird stain and smelled odd. I completely forgot that Beyonce's mom had a clothing line. Is this still for sale? Where was it for sale anyways? Like Kohl's or QVC? Anyways, I've never sold it. It just caught my attention that I had not seen that brand in a very long time. Here is another piece, new with the tags. Boutique brand. Sell-through rate not great, so I decided to pass on that. So stay tuned for the thrift haul. You're going to see what I picked up from this store. Let's go to the second location. This second location, I believe, is in like Atlanta proper. Like here, I'm kind of in the suburbs. Let's go into the city. All right, thrift store number 2 of the day. I just went to my uncle's memorial. I'm a little bit emotionally drained, but it was good to see family, and we are only 24 minutes from the airport, so we're good to go. Yeah, let's do this. This one looks like, I was gonna say a lot more, but I should turn the camera around. That's why there was the awkward silence. I was going to what I was gonna say is this one looks like it's in a little bit of a nicer neighborhood, but you guys, I don't know. I've found some great stuff in not so nice neighborhoods, and I found crappy stuff in nice neighborhoods, so I don't really know how much that matters, but like overall, this just looks like a nicer store. The stores in the South are huge. You guys are so lucky. You guys just have huge stores. Like, people aren't on top of you. We do have some big stores in my area, but it's few and far between. Like, every freaking store I have been to, like in Texas, in Georgia, like all throughout the South, in Mississippi, they're always so spacious, and I appreciate it so much. Coming from a city where 4 million people live, it's just refreshing, you guys. So don't take that for granted. I don't know if you can understand just how huge this building is. Okay, friends, at this point, it is much later in the day, and this is on a Saturday, so it was very busy in here. I found it very difficult to film in here without showing people, but the shoe section, oh my gosh. You guys, say that fast 5 times. The shoe section was awesome, and I didn't see anything super overpriced. I actually own these Zara heels. They're $5.99. I own a pair myself, and I've sold a pair of those for $60. I don't even know what they retailed for, but they're sold out in the store, so I definitely picked those up, you guys. I come back for them. One girl tried to pick them up. At first I was like, I can't fit that in my carry-on. And then I went and I was like, I think I want to get those. And she was so nice. She was like, you can have them. It's okay. I'm like, oh, I love the South. She started laughing. And we just like made friends. She's like, where are you from? And I was like, oh, anyways, that ended up being a 20-minute conversation, hence another reason why I could not film very much in this store, because then we just started chatting, and she's a real estate agent, I'm a real estate agent, so we're going to start like working together and referring clients, because she was telling me she has a lot of clients in LA. You guys, I am such an introverted extrovert. Is that the way? Anyways, basically, I'm mostly an introvert. Like, I get my energy from being alone. I travel alone. Like, I love being alone. But if I need to turn it on, I turn it on. So I was, like, turning it on. And it is just so draining afterwards. I think it's called an extroverted introvert. Extroverted introvert. Any of you can relate, let me know. But like all of my jobs I have require me to be very extroverted. Like even my healthcare job, even real estate, oh gosh, it's so draining, you guys, but I can really turn it on. Like you would never know I'm an introvert, but once the doors are closed and you are gone, I am exhausted. So anyways, all that to say, I did not get much footage in here, but I ended up getting those shoes, and I ended up scoring a sweater and another new with tags pants that retail for $85, you guys, and I got them for $5. So very happy with the thrifting in Atlanta. This was literally 2 weeks after I got back from Montana. I love thrifting in Bozeman, Montana, and Atlanta, Georgia. Love it. Chef's kiss. I know I'm coming with rose-colored glasses because I don't live here, and some of you that live in these places are probably like, girl, it's not that special, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's go into the car, have a little chat. I'll share some pictures with you, and then I will show you either in this video or another video the actual items I picked up. You guys are kind of in an awkward position, but I just wanted to say this as a friendly reminder, you guys, for those of you that have family that's still alive, that you are close to or you talk to, make sure you give them a hug, give them a call if they're not close by, you guys, because life is just so short. That has put this into perspective for me. My uncle was 67. He was completely fine, and then he ended up being diagnosed with leukemia and died literally like 2.5 months later. He's 67 years old. He's literally almost the same age as my dad, and my dad was here. So my uncle that passed away is my dad's sister's husband, so he's my uncle by marriage. My dad was saying how he doesn't want too much time to go past, without us seeing each other and him seeing my kids. And I know this is random in a Thrift With Me video, but it's just heavy on my mind because I literally just went to the memorial. It was more so a memorial because he's already been cremated. Maybe this is TMI. I don't know. It's just real life, and it's just made me reflective. And so my dad and I were talking about, I think, considering my dad and I live pretty far apart. I live in Los Angeles, as many of you know. He lives in Oklahoma. That's why I go to Dallas all the time, because that's the closest airport to him. I think we do pretty good considering he lives halfway across the country. I see him probably 2 to 3 times a year, but he was saying that he wants to see me more. And it puts it into perspective. I saw this TikTok that said, like, if you only see your parents once a year and you're middle aged, like if you're 30 or 40, you literally may only see your parents like 10 or 20 more times in your entire life. Now, I'm lucky that I get to see him 2 to 3 times a year. It's usually 3 times a year, but we're going to try to make it an effort. It's mostly going to have to come from him because he's retired. He has more flexibility. I'm not, that we see each other a little bit more. Just because life is short, you guys. So I know not everyone's close to their family, but for the family that you are close to, if you have any in your life, give them a hug, give them a kiss, text them, call them. You just never know, you guys. Life, like, literally, my uncle was totally fine, and then 2 months later, he's gone. It's just sad. So cherish the ones that are still here. Family, friends, dogs, cats.